You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
In Louisiana, an inmate is back in custody after attacking a deputy in the West Baton Rouge Parish jail and escaping a pond. In New York, a couple finds $100,000 cash in a safe while magnet fishing. What? But can they keep the loot? And 11 people are killed in a mass shooting in Mexico. These stories and more are coming at you today, Tuesday, June 4th, on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
Thank God you're back.
Back in the saddle, not 100%, but 100% better than I was last week. I want to give a shout out to my girl KJ, Kelly Jennings, Unspeakable Podcast. Kelly, I hadn't called you yet, but I'm going to. I haven't been on social media. I've been totally incapacitated. Jim Chapman, thank you, sir, for covering for me and carrying. And you know, it's a whole lot of shit on your plate that you didn't need, but I hope I don't ever have to return the favor, but you know I will. Missed all you lifers. I'm going to try to start doing social media again this week if I'm able to, but I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I missed the show. So let's get down to some true crime time for Taco Tuesday.
Well, just before we do that, since you missed this, and so I didn't get into it on the other show, I discussed it a little bit. But over the Memorial Day weekend, because it's been since then that you've been on, one of the things I did, I was saying this on one of the shows, was I watched Naked and Afraid. Have you ever seen that?
I watched like the first season or two of it, and then
I'd only seen like one episode before, but I caught one in the middle of Memorial Day, and I ended up binging on it. I literally watched like four seasons.
I was going to say, they got so many different now.
It's great.
Naked and Afraid XL, and Naked and Afraid this. And
so the whole time I'm thinking, Woody Overton would be perfect for Naked and Afraid. Would you do Naked and Afraid?
I would have done it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Not because of the naked part, just because I don't feel like getting eaten up by bugs and shit right now.
Right.
But yeah, I would have done that. And a lot of the reality shows, you know, the one I really want to go on was Alone.
Yeah.
You drop me off in the motherfucking wilderness, 10 items of my choosing, and you're going to have to carry me out in a body bag or I'm winning that $500,000. I ain't got to do shit. I hunt and make me a little shelter and a fire, got me some water. Fuck you, I'll be happy. Yeah.
Well, the whole time that I'm watching the show, I'm thinking, hell, this is every Friday night at Woody's house.
Yeah. Hell, that's what I thought happened. We had some friends over a week ago, this past Sunday, and we drink beers and stuff. And that night, boy, I woke up with a headache. I was like, God damn, I'm hungover. I didn't think I drank that much.
Yeah.
And then it just got worse. And then by Tuesday, I went to a place I'd never go, which was a doctor's office. And here it is on the rest of it. But I love y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to produce some good shit.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into that crime time you just brought up. And we're going to start out in Louisiana. And an inmate is back in custody after escaping from the West Baton Rouge Parish jail.
Shout out
WBR. 24-year-old Christopher Spearman attacked a correctional officer and escaped the facility just before 7:30 p.m. on Friday after attacking that deputy. Sergeant Landon Groger said Spearman was found in a pond off of U.S. Highway 190 about 30 to 40 minutes after he escaped. So he didn't get away for long.
Yeah, you're going to hide in a pond.
However,
that happened all the time.
Yeah. So they see him in this pond. He swims out to the middle of the pond, and he refuses to come out. Well, these deputies ain't going in after. Right. They basically just said, you get tired of treading water after a little while. And
they don't want to even send it in a K9 because it might drown him, right?
Yeah. So they basically let him sit in the middle of that pond and tread water until he got so worn out he was either going to drown or he's going to swim to shore. That's just what he did. They just let him tire out. They did maintain communication with him the entire time, and he eventually surrendered. The injured deputy was transported to a local hospital with moderate injuries. So he got whipped on pretty good. Spearman is now facing additional charges, which will be provided at a later time. Now, he was initially booked into jail for illegal possession of stolen property, possession of burglary tools, and contributing to delinquency of juveniles. So not a first-class citizen, Woody.
A Sunday school goer. But the WR, West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, that's right across the Mississippi River from East Baton Rouge. And Richie Johnson used to be the colonel there, and he also was head of the Louisiana State Polygraph Board, and one of my best, longest, dearest friends, and he's deceased now and has a son my son's age. So rest in peace, Richie. And I also want to say to the guys, Zach and them, I know you got a new sheriff now, but Zach and the rest of those detectives who stepped up and worked Mary Pouchot's case and against one of your own, a former warden of the West Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and they took it from an accident to he pled for 60 years, and I think he's in his 70s, so he's going to die anyway.
Wow,
but good guys, and they're really trying over there. And, it's just, you're in the business of housing inmates and shit. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a Friday. They do want to go somewhere.
No doubt about it.
Well, let me tell you where he didn't go. So he didn't go to Meridian, Mexico. And if he had, he might not get to tread water in the pond. Because 11 people, y'all, were killed this past Tuesday, in mass shootings in a small town in the southern Mexican state of Chiapas, the state prosecutor's office said. Now, the office said the shooting occurred in the township of Chicomusula, an area known as a trafficking route for migrant and drug smuggling. And the township and the outlying hamlet of Morelia, where the killings occurred, is in a sparsely populated area near the Mexico's border with Guatemala. So it's way down there. You pass the Yucatan Peninsula and all that. That's a ways.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they have. You mentioned Guatemala. I had a friend from Guatemala, and he was from a town called Chiquimula.
Yeah. Well, back in 1991, one of my fraternity's brothers' dad was the head of the defense forces of Guatemala, and he was the president. And his two twin sons came in. They had bodyguards everywhere we went out. I'm talking about these motherfuckers carrying Uzis. Yeah, but there was a lot of civil war and all that shit going on.
Yeah.
But back to this one, there have been confrontations between the drug cartels in the area as recently as Monday. Some of the victims Tuesday shooting appeared to just be regular people of the town, Jim. And the border area of Chiapas has been plagued by violence as the rivals Sinaloa and Jalisco new generation cartels battle for territory. Remember I told you about that before. The DEA came out and said they're in every single state in the United States of America.
Yep.
And now, of course, you get a vacuum, you're going to war for it, right? It's crazy, y'all. Thousands of people have been displaced as the cartels work to control the migrant, which is a big deal, drug and weapon smuggling routes, and forcibly recruit people to their side.
Yeah.
So it's just a goddamn war thing.
Yeah, either you take our side or we're going to kill you.
Yep.
One of the two.
Well, that it is what it is. And in a small town, it'd be like them coming to Clinton and killing 11 people.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
I get it. Figure it out.
It's rough, man.
Yeah. And, hey, Matt Potan, my buddy from NOPD, actually, I think he left yesterday. He's going to spend 9 days in Cancun. Hopefully, they're still keeping the stuff straight in the parts
touristy parts. Yeah.
But I know they were having some problems there. But he's a straight up OG gangster cop. So I know
yeah,
he's got
he
his
ain't
head
worried
on
about
the swivel. Survived Katrina and everything else.
Oh yeah. So. Well, we're going to bring you to New York City.
New York City.
Get a rope.
Those commercial lines all the time.
Absolutely. And we're going to tell you about, we've on this show a lot, we've talked about magnet fishing.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
In these stories I'm reading makes me want to magnet fish. I got to try that.
Bro, if you did it down here, you would hook every fucking piece of shit car. I remember I was with the state police in West Feliciana, and we got to tip somebody dumped a car in the Mississippi River, not far from the ferry.
Yeah.
We went down there 27 fucking cars down there. Everybody that was getting insurance policies or paying somebody to go take their car and dump it and never get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine what you'd find here.
Well, this New York City couple couldn't imagine what they found. They were magnet fishing in a lake, and they caught more than they bargained for when they pulled out a safe. And it had $100,000 cash on the inside.
There you go. Winner, chicken dinner.
That's it. Now, James Kane and Barbie Agstani tossed a lime with a strong magnet attached to the end into a lake in Queens, New York. This was on May 31st. The couple managed to open the safe and found the cash, and it was bundled in $100 bills.
I can't wait to hear the hook line on it. Overton loading his shit up and gone south.
Yeah, I ain't telling nobody, right? With an estimated value of $100,000, the money was damaged by the water, but you could still make it out and all of that.
Still take damage bills.
Yeah, sure. So James Kane explained that they began magnet fishing during the COVID-19 pandemic due to the allure of treasure hunting without having to spend a lot of money on equipment. Yeah. Magnet fishing, for those that aren't familiar, simply involves putting a rope with a strong magnet on it into the water with hopes of retrieving metal objects. No one expected a safe to be at the end of that line, though, let alone a safe stuffed with $100,000. Right. So they pull it out, and he describes it. He said there was 2 giant stacks of freaking hundreds.
Really? It's been a decent sized safe. I wonder how they've been.
Dude, I would freak out.
How did you break into the safe? Yeah.
It was probably rusted to hell, and it probably got open pretty easy. But the couple, they thought about it. They're like, should we call the cops? And they did. They called the police. I don't know that I would have.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't find us keepers.
They called the police.
Have a dead body in the safe.
Yeah, right. And they said they found this cash, and the police said, well, we got to take the money. We got to just see if there's a crime attached to it.
Yeah, right.
So they take it. And they figure out there's no way to identify the original owner of that safe, and they let the couple keep the money.
There you go. That's good. Good for them, because normally it'd be like, we're keeping that shit 30% for us, the sheriff, 30% for the DA, 30% however many, it's 33 1/3 for the judge.
Hey man, if I can go magnet fishing and pull up $5, I'll be happy.
Shit, you probably pull up $5 worth of scrap metal.
Yeah, at least.
Imagine how many pistols and shit are found, and people just stop in the most convenient places and throw them over. Now that I would turn in, because you never throw a rifle or pistol over unless you got a DB on it.
Yeah.
A dead body.
Well, and it makes you wonder why, who throws 100? It had to be involved in a crime somewhere.
I'm going to come back and get it.
Yeah.
They probably got them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. $100,000.
Great.
You're going around different banks. Be calling the best banker chick like Laura Johnson. Hey, can you take $100,000 on wet damage bills? Yeah. Going to the Secret Service of somebody, right?
That's it.
I'm going to take you outside the box gym, Chapman. This is kind of murder, but it's like murder by God. And it's really a bizarre story. What do you think about the only reoccurring dream I ever have that's really bad is I have tornadoes that are coming around. I'm able to get everybody else safe, but like they're right on me. I can't ever find a door that's unlocked. Mm-hmm. When I was a young cop, I used to have dreams that I would get in shootouts and my weapon would never fire.
Right.
And that was, they said it was an anxiety for whatever. Now I don't have a problem. I love those dreams. I'll be shooting them up. The tornadoes still scare me, and not to a point where, I'm afraid of them. But, lightning?
Yeah.
Bro, I had a guy one time, this is no bullshit, crystal clear sky day, and the guy was riding lawnmower in his front yard. It's down the road here. And lightning hit a fucking tree, popped out from the tree and hit him on a lawnmower and killed him.
Oh, my God.
Right?
That's
and it wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know nobody ran that much electricity to kill him. It wasn't a homicide, obviously. But check this out, bro. You ever been out like Colorado and the plains and all that, where the buffalo still roam and shit like that? Well, it's big for ranching, okay? And those cows, y'all, I don't know, that's where you get your beef from, right? Yeah. But check this out. I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm doing it. So there was a man named Mike Morgan, and he was 3 years younger than me, y'all. He's 51 years old. And he died when lightning hit his trailer on May the 25th while he was feeding 100 cattle. So he's riding around the field. The cattle's
doing his everyday thing. Yeah. Done it a million times, probably.
And then, another Colorado man, same time, and 34 of his cattle have been killed by a single lightning strike. This is all on the same thing. So rancher Mike Morgan, 51, died while feeding his herd from a trailer in an open pasture 80 miles northwest of Denver on Saturday, May 25th. In Jackson County coroner, naturally you got to go out and check it out, right? George Crockett said around 100 cattle were struck by the lightning as they surrounded the trailer at the time of the incident. So just like where I'm from, you pull the feed trailers out in the field and the cows come running to you. They get used to this Pavlov's condition, right? They all out there, lightning hits them, kills them all. I wonder if that beef is still good. But let me continue.
It's probably automatically cooked.
I was going to say it's fried, flash fried, but not making, best it is. But Crockett, the coroner, says, as best I can tell, it hit him on the trailer. And the cattle were bunched up around the trailer and it hit them all. Isn't that crazy? So emergency service was called to the scene at 2:08 p.m. And after life-saving efforts, Morgan was pronounced dead at the scene. That's just absolutely crazy. So members of Morgan's family were nearby at the time of the strike, and his father-in-law had been driving a truck attached to the trailer he was in, and his wife was nearby. Both of them survived the incident. And I don't know, bro. It's crazy as fuck. Look at that.
Yeah,
they had pictures of, look at that shit.
Oh, man.
But if I see that shit, I'm getting the fuck out of the field. I've been in fishing boats when the lightning comes. I've been in Lake Marpole and the waves come up and the lightning comes and we run it into the shore because what's lightning going to hit? The first metallic thing you can find.
Absolutely.
And, if you saw this lightning, it's like 7 or 8 strikes. But I know it's not really a crime, but it is a crime.
And, you may be curious what the likelihood of being struck by lightning is. And, of course, our wonderful engineer here, right. Jim, looked it up for us. Right. And it said that your likelihood or the odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime are about 1 in 15,300. But the odds of being struck in any given year are closer to 1 in 1.2 million.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's more than what I thought.
I wonder what the likelihood of murder. I think like in Baton Rouge is 1 for 100,000. You got a lot more chance of getting killed murder wise illegally.
No doubt.
I just thought that because I have so many friends that are ranchers and I've done hay for the cows and everything else. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't be sitting in the middle of that fucking lightning.
No, I don't. There's nothing you can do to get away from that except for get away from it.
Run, tuck and run.
Tuck and run. So,
hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
All right, we've brought you a story on this initially with 4 inmates escaping from a Tangipahoa Parish jail. Yeah. And 3 of those 4 inmates were in jail for double murder.
Oh, yeah.
They escaped over the Memorial Day holiday weekend. Well, they've been kind of slowly catching them. So apparently what these guys did was separate.
But they didn't know at first that they escaped.
Yeah.
It took them some time later. Somebody actually had to call in and say, hey, 4 of your motherfuckers escaped. And I think Daniel Evers and shit a brick. That's a shame.
I bet they did. And I wouldn't want to be the guy that was on shift when that happened. Right. But the third of those 4 inmates who did escape from that parish jail over the weekend has been recaptured. The arrest of Amarin Hookfin, who was 19, was announced at 3 p.m. This was on Friday. He was found in an abandoned house in Hammond. Hookfin currently faces charges connected to the 2022 murder of a Tangipahoa Parish man named Donta Perry and the shooting of Perry's daughter. Perry's first cousin, Kiera Perry, she was very happy that he had been recaptured. I can't even explain so much right now how I feel at this moment that he's been captured. It's a huge weight off my chest. The Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office reports that the escapees were able to break through a fence, climb under a wall, and scale 2 razor wire fences. 2 were recaptured on Monday, and there is one still on the loose. Jamarcus Cyprian, 20, as of this recording, remains at large.
Yeah, absolutely crazy, right? But I'm telling you, just like we talked about earlier in West Baton Rouge, that's the business that you're in. Now, people say, how can 4 of your highest profile inmates escape? Well, guess what? It happens. It happened to us here in Parish.
Yeah.
I was up in Clinton getting ready for deer hunting season, and my pager goes off, call the radio room. And those girls are friends of mine. I called, and she said, John Priest and Bordelon just escaped. Well, fuck. The Priest was in for luring a homosexual man in for sex and ended up tying him to a chair and pulling all his teeth and burning him to death. And Gerald Bordelon, we all know, is the last person put to death in the state of Louisiana. They fucking escaped. Yeah. And we chased them the whole weekend. It happens. And it really, the holiday weekends are when motherfuckers just want to go home, I guess. And they did it there. And I hate it. I'm sure the policy and procedures will be changed. And that Tangipahoa Parish Jail is in the city of Inmate, y'all. And I've been there 1,000 times. On the job, not as an inmate, naturally, but it's off the main drag in 16 in Inmate. You can't see it. It's back behind the Winn-Dixie. Yeah. So, I don't know. Cyprian must have had some help, but they'll get them eventually. And I pray to God it doesn't kill anybody else.
Yeah. And look, it was 4 of them, and they had to separate when they escaped and said, we got a better chance of at least one or two of us getting away if we go four different directions.
Yeah. Well, I had another one over there that raped an 82-year-old lady. Her husband had been a preacher his entire life, and he had died like 6 months before. And this guy used to go over there and do yard work for him, and he broke in, raped her, and beat her, and left her for dead. And they got him in the back of the cop car, and he meets the cop car, and the cop got out to talk to somebody. The motherfucker climbed his thing and hauled ass.
Yeah.
And 20 out off 442. But it happens. The escapes are part of it. But let me take you back to Chi-Town, y'all. And I didn't get to do this because I was out last week, sick as fuck. But I talked about the murders in Chicago on the original Real Life Real Crime. And every week, like the last time we were there, I think there were 27 murdered and however many. I just want to touch on it because I kept that whole weekend, I kept looking to see how bad it was. Pretty fucking bad. So the tally for Chicago. Now, I know I looked up New Orleans, I looked at Baton Rouge, different ones, and for some reason Chicago has more than anyone else. The tally for Chicago for murders for Memorial Day weekend, 12 dead, but that's not it. And 53 people were shot.
Good God.
And a cop even shot himself at a hotel. So Memorial Day weekend 2023 was nothing short of a war zone in Chicago, Illinois. A staggering 12 people were murdered and 53 were shot in total in the violent, bloody city. From ages 2 to 77 years old, the people that were shot were younger than old. Here's a couple of them, y'all. On Sunday night, May the 28th, 2023, a 2-year-old boy was shot while playing in a bedroom with an adult. The boy was hit in the right hand. Earlier that same day, a 2-year-old girl was shot at another residence.
Jesus.
I mean, they're inside their fucking house, bro. These motherfuckers are throwing lead. So if you shoot 53, how many rounds do you think were fired that didn't hit somebody?
Right.
So, but then this is unfortunate. A Michigan police officer shot himself and seriously wounded another man on Saturday, May 27th at a Chicago hotel. And a 69-year-old woman was shot while sitting in a vehicle. And naturally, she died from her injuries. 4 people were shot in a quadruple drive-by shooting, and the victims were being treated at a local hospital. A 17-year-old was shot when he opened his front door after ringing the door. You know, somebody rang the doorbell, you go and open it, bam, shot him. He was shot in the upper left thigh. And another female was stabbed to death and left in a nearby alley to this guy's house. And shortly before 1 a.m. on May 27th, another man was found dead with a gunshot wound. Then, about 2:15 a.m., a male victim identified as William Hare, 35, was found on the sidewalk with a gunshot wound to the chest that was near downtown Chicago. Of course, he died. A 37-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man were shot while standing on a sidewalk. Both of them were shot in the face. The man died, and the woman was still listed in critical condition. 20 minutes later, Jonathan Salgado, 22, was shot in the chest and died. Later in the day, a man was shot to death on the street. And it's fucking crazy. I mean, you hear 12 people murdered, and when you read and you put the fucking faces on them.
Oh, yeah.
But a 26-year-old man was pronounced dead after being shot in the back. And 3 men were shot outside of a nightclub, but they survived. And hits keep on coming. On Memorial Day 2023, a 16-year-old boy was wounded in the drive-by shooting. And someone drove up in an SUV, and the passenger started unloading on his ass. The boy was shot twice in the thigh and was taken to the hospital. You know, thank God these guys aren't professional marksmen, right?
Right.
Another man was shot in the city and was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Just after 12:30 a.m. on Sunday, a 20-year-old man was walking on a sidewalk when 2 men walked up at him and opened fire, striking him multiple times in the head and legs. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, what the fuck, bro? And I don't know what, I mean, tell me, I was there with Cindy and WL. I love Chicago. And we left, and I think they killed 27 that weekend, so it's a lot less this weekend. But they shot like 70 or 80 people.
Look, I was there.
I don't get it.
There's a suburb of Chicago. I think it's called Forest Hill or something in that nature, but very nice suburb of Chicago. And when you fly into Chicago, you see the Great Lakes right there.
It's
and
beautiful
water.
Green and so much green in the city. I've never seen all the cities I've been to flying in. I've never seen that many parks.
It's like an emerald green.
It's got the rivers running through it.
Yeah.
And the lake. Absolutely beautiful.
And but this was also at a time when Chicago had that murder capital of the United States reputation. And I rented a car, but I didn't really go into Chicago. I drove around the Forest Hill area and saw some really nice houses there. Yeah. But I did not venture into primarily because of that reputation. Yeah. So that tells you what murders will do for your city as far as tourism.
That was speaking on that. So the Miracle Mile is the biggest tourist attraction in Chicago. That's where all the fancy shops are and the comedy clubs, and not far from that is the park with the spear, the bean, right? And all that. And my grandmother worked at the Palmer House Hilton during World War II. I mean, my people are from there, right? Yeah. And I love the people of Chicago. Oh my God, I had so many great times there. But after that last year, they started coming down the Miracle Mile. They're hitting these shops in broad daylight with all the tourists in them. And Robin, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'll need to go back there.
Yes.
I want to come back, y'all, get them straight. And I'm Chicago PD. God bless y'all. I don't know what's going on over there.
I'm gonna tell you, it's wild. It's buck wild. And Baton Rouge ain't getting much better.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, Chicago's a lot bigger.
All right, you just heard that sound, and that means a mile-high crime.
I ain't heard a mile-high crime in a minute.
Well, I'm going to tell you about a pretty crazy one here. A teenager has been charged after he attempted to smuggle more than $24 million worth of methamphetamine.
What? How many kilos is that?
Well, it's estimated to be enough for 260,000 street deals. The 18-year-old U.S. traveler was stopped by Australian Border Force officers at the Sydney airport. This was on Wednesday of last week after flying into Australia from the U.S. Officers seized a total of 26 kilos of methamphetamine.
26. Now, that's without cutting it with fentanyl.
It's without cutting
26 kilos. 2.5. I think it's 2.5 pounds a kilo.
Worth an estimated street value of more than $24 million after finding more than 20 packages in plastic wrap in the man's 2 suitcases. Look, that'd even be heavy to carry.
What? I mean,
that's 70 pounds worth of meth.
You got to have a better plan, bro. You got 24 million, and the cartel's behind it. And they're like, shove it in so much. If I could just put this kid on a plane and see if he can get through.
Oh, yeah. Australian federal police officers were notified and attended the airport to investigate further. The man was subsequently arrested and charged with 1 count of importing a border-controlled drug. And the East Commander in Australia, named Rose Cracknell, said the detection showed how some individuals and syndicates were taking brazen risks to attempt to circumvent our borders. So
it's pretty fucking brazen getting on an airplane.
With that
24
much.
kilos. Bro, that's 40. That's like 50, over 50 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even get a checked bag on a plane that weighs 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I guess he did.
They said this should serve as a warning for other travelers who wish to run the gauntlet and attempt to bypass our border controls. We will stop you in your tracks and you will be put before the courts.
Yeah, but they're going to kill his ass anyway.
That's about the largest I've come across so far that people were attempted just by, general flight, to transport drugs. Usually that's going by boat in the middle of the night, right?
It's a lot of fucking money, and I don't get it. You got to try to push it through somehow. I guess they might have had him, and he might have drawn attention to himself, and they probably had 500 pounds go through. Way. Something to distract them. I can't see them just saying, fuck it. It's not like they, they're just rolling the dice and take a chance with $24 million worth of meth.
Yeah, he's screwed. And then you got to wonder, he's the mule, right? He's the person bringing it. So it probably isn't his meth.
Yes, no, I know it's not. And he was
his ass is glad he's in jail.
Said, don't look in the bag, son. It's fucking crazy.
Somebody going to kill his ass over that. Absolutely. For sure. $24 million.
Well, he ain't going to testify against him.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
we got a kinky crime coming our way.
Been a minute since I spent it.
I like that.
And y'all, let me tell you about this one. You know, some of them are funny, some of them aren't. This one, I'll let you be the judge. And Jim, what do you think would be the worst way to die?
Fire or drowning.
I'd much rather drown.
Really?
Go to the bottom and suck it in and get it over with. Burning, that's bad shit.
Yeah, that seems bad.
I've worked too many of them. Well, I got another one for you. And what would be the worst way to die? In 2016, a man faces prison sentence after accidentally killing his partner with a cucumber he uses as a sex toy.
Oh, that's a pretty bad way.
Right?
Yeah.
I
can consider it that way.
Right, me either. Olivia, and not making fun of these people, y'all, but Olivia Dietman, 46, a married salesman, or Oliver, a married salesman, invited his mistress to his apartment while his wife and daughter were out. Then proceeded to drink 4 bottles of wine and a large quantity of schnapps.
4 bottles of wine?
And a large quantity of schnapps
Oh, my
before
God.
slipping off to the bedroom, right?
Uh-oh.
But according to Oliver, they would often use dildos as well as carrots and summer squash in their love making.
Summer squash?
Goes back to Monster series. That's what that guy was using, the large yellow squash.
Hey, y'all, changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
But however, on the day in question in July of 2014, the man said she didn't have any toys with her. So they used half of a cucumber from the kitchen instead. He then used the cucumber as a sex toy before putting it in her mouth.
Oh.
During this play, he noticed smoke coming from the kitchen and left the room. He had put a piece of meat on the stove for the dog, and it was burning. So he ran to the kitchen to feed the dog, then smoked a cigarette on the balcony, all before returning to his mistress. Right? But when he returned to her, she was unconscious on the floor. The cucumber was still lodged in her throat.
Oh, my
cut off
God.
her airway passage.
No
Can you get
way.
the fuck out of here? Oliver said, I tried to pull the pieces of cucumber out of her throat, but they were so mushy I couldn't get them all. The woman, Rika Varna, 46, fell into a coma and later died in a hospital. Medical experts later said that the vegetable had gotten wedged in her throat and cut off her air supply, suffocating her. Which is crazy, right? Postmortem autopsy showed that Varna's alcohol level was 4 times the German legal driving limit. So obviously this is Germany, y'all. Anyone who is driving in Germany is always subject to a blood test. Germany's legal alcohol limit is 0.5. Ours is 0.8 of alcohol per millimeter. And for an average sized man, this is only 2 small beers. In court, the prosecutor charged that the defendant's actions had been negligent, stating that he should have known that he couldn't leave her alone for so long. And Detman said he didn't know she couldn't breathe. He didn't know of the risk, y'all, that he was putting her in. So, and his lawyer, of course, said, my client had no idea of the danger, and the pair often had this type of relations. She wasn't tied up, and he felt that the cucumber was a problem. She could have removed it herself. Not really.
Yeah.
You know, I've told you, one of the guys that I had hung himself did it with smallest fucking string in the world. He was on suicide watch.
Yeah.
And they had the screens in the cell, and somebody slipped him one of those string bundles that tie up the sheets. I mean, it's like kite string thin. He tied it to his neck, tied it to the screen. He just leaned forward, and when he fell forward, it broke, right? Yeah. And he fell forward, but it tightened down so much that he couldn't get off in time before he blacked out.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, this dude he actually got convicted of negligent homicide in the German city of Mannheim, and he was given a 20-month suspended sentence.
Suspended?
Suspended.
So he didn't do no jail time.
I wonder what his wife's saying.
Yeah. He's going to do some jail time, though.
Yeah, he's doing jail time.
Summer squash. Wow.
Not making fun of it, but there's your kinky crime for Taco Tuesday.
I'll never look at the produce section the same again.
Half a cucumber. He must have just like, damn that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's kinky.
Yep.
All right. Well, Woody, we're glad you back in effect.
Let me tell you how serious it was. I think I told you this earlier. Today is 8 days since I've had a beer.
That's serious.
I'm locked in the fucking bedroom.
It's a
lights
world
off.
record.
I went to the doctor, and then thank God there was nobody in there, but they had this TV on. I was really sensitive to sight and sound.
Yeah.
And my whole head, if you touched it anywhere, like trigeminal days, it was that bad.
Yeah.
I went in there, and they had this guy cartoon, blah, 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 and I was like, trying to feel this stuff. My first mistake was going by myself. I didn't realize how bad I was. And someone was like, no, I'll take it. I was like, no, I got this. And holy shit, it was the wrong answer. And by the time I get there, I'm trying to feel that thing out, and that thing's blaring. I'm like, can you please turn that shit off? I'm about to die. And then it got me in a room, and it came into my blood pressure. And it was so low, the girl left the room and got another lady to come back. And she's like, no, you just need to relax for a minute. Let's take it again. She's like, your shit's low. And then later on, by the time the doctor did it, it wasn't. But when they left the room, I turned off the light, sat there in the dark.
Yeah.
It was bad, but I thank y'all for putting up with it. I mean, if you can't control when you get sick, and that's just the way it is. And that I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Kelly Jennings, Unspeakable Podcast. Go listen to it. I love you, Kelly Jennings. Jim Chapman, we got a new podcast out.
Yes.
Dixie Mafia.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well,
you know that's my jam, right?
it's actually not going to be out until the fall. But it's just going to be a short series. It's probably going to be 12 episodes. I'm going to drop it on the same feed that I drop Exposed. And it's going to be all about that wild Dixie Mafia
There's so many stories on that. And I'll tell you,
it's some wild
I'll finish telling you
shit.
when we get done. I had Carlos Marcella's nephew in prison.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say his last name. His first name was Jules.
Yeah.
Nobody fucked with him.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about in 91.
Yeah. Well, and of course, if you're familiar at all with the Dixie Mafia, they were based out of Biloxi.
Yep.
And there was a murder of a judge and his wife in Biloxi that was attributed to a guy that was in Angola that was the head of the Dixie Mafia.
In order to hit. And that's how it works. But looking forward to
Pretty
it.
wild
And
schemes
then,
they had
and you
going
got
on.
Exposed and everything else.
Yeah.
But I really, really appreciate y'all. And fans, thank you for standing by. And we just love y'all.
That's right. And until next time, I'm Jim Chapman,
And I'm Woody Overton.
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.